Extending my warm greetings to everybody. I am Bhavana Bajaj and I'm here to give a presentation on the topic who were the elites and what role did they play as it expounded by different elitist scholars. Elites refer to a small minority in society that possesses a disproportionate share of power, influence, and resources, enabling them to shape major political, economic, and social decisions. Elite theory challenges the democratic assumption of equality by arguing that power is inevitably concentrated in the hands of a few. You had classical theorists such as Wilfred Pareto, Mosca, and Robert Michels who laid the foundation of this perspective. So Pareto had not just divided the society into elites and not non-elites, but has also further classified elites into governing and non-governing elites, arguing that the stability depends on a balance between different types of elites, the lions, which were the force-oriented, and the foxes, who were cunning and manipulative. His idea of circulation of elites suggested that when ruling elites become decadent, they are replaced by new, more vigorous ones, ensuring continuity of elite dominance rather than true democratization. Now, moving forward, you had Mosca, on the other hand, who emphasized the concept of political class, arguing that the ruling minority maintains control through superior organization, administrative skills, and ideological justification, often presenting its rule as necessary and legitimate. You had Michels, who deepened this analysis through his iron law of our oligarchy, where he explained that organizational necessities such as leadership, specialization, technical expertise, and bureaucratic structure inevitably leads to the concentration of power in the hands of a few leaders, even in parties committed to democracy, such as the Socialist Party he studied. Moving forward, I'll be discussing about the modern theorists and how they define the whole concept of elite theory. So you have modern theorists who've expanded and refined the entire elite theory. You had C. Wright Mills who've argued that in advanced industrial societies, particularly the United States, power is concentrated in a power elite comprising top leaders of the political, corporate, and military spheres who share common backgrounds, interests, and social network, thereby forming a cohesive ruling bloc. His work highlighted how institutional interlocks, so to say, the movement between corporate boards or government positions or military leadership, reinforces elite dominance. In contrast, you had Robert Dahl, who challenged the monolithic elite theory through his study of decision making in New Haven, proposing that power is fragmented and issue specific, with different groups dominating different policy areas, a system he described as polyarchy. However, Dahal did not completely deny inequalities, but so to say, he argued that competition among elites ensures a degree of responsiveness to the citizens. Adding a Marxist dimension to it, Antonio Gramsci shifted the focus from coercion to consent, arguing that elites maintain dominance through cultural hegemony by controlling institutions like education, media, and religion to shape public consciousness and normalize behavior. He's also introduced the idea of organic intellectuals who help sustain or challenge elite dominance by articulating class interests. Now you also had an economic model of democracy where the elitists have argued that this concept of elites is not completely compatible with the theory of democracy. Elitist scholars believe that free and fair elections are enough to treat a country as a democracy. The elitist scholars, however, do not give importance to the substantive aspect of democracy. They focus only on the procedural aspect. Now, this theory of democracy has been also known as the market model of democracy, and this market model was given by Max Weber and Schumpeter. According to this theory, democracy, he says, is all about elections. And democracy is more like a market where the politicians are like entrepreneurs and voters are like the consumers of these goods and services. Now, this manifesto of whichever party gives them maximum satisfaction, they'll vote for it. So, in a way, he conceived the entire democratic institution or the entire democratic model as nothing but a market where the consumer would choose a party, or where the consumer or the voters who being perceived as consumer would choose a party with whom their interest aligns more rightly or more accurately, to so to say. Now, moving forward, I'll give a critical examination of the role of elites. So, critically examining the role of elites, it becomes clear that they perform both functional and problematic roles. On one hand, you have elites who provide leadership, expertise, and administrative efficiency, which are essential in complex modern societies. And on the other hand, their dominance can lead to power, concentration, exclusion, and policy capture, undermining the democratic ideals of equality and participation. While classical theorists tend to present elite rule as inevitable, modern perspectives show that elite power can be contested, fragmented, and subject to accountability. In the contemporary context, new forms of elites, such as the technological and media elites, have emerged, while social movements and digital platforms have enabled counter-elite mobilization. Thus, elite theory remains crucial for understanding the power structure